Hi, I'd like to describe the scaling and hiring challenge that our team took on. This one's close to home as I'm experiencing it in my own company, and I was really appreciative of the help from my team members, Perry, Neer, and Raphael, to make our way through some thinking on how to scale with better hiring. So first, a brief description of what our issues are. We're actually running a little too hot. In the course, they describe the benefits of running it a little hot, which I agree with, but then there's a point where you're running it a little too hot and employees are burnt out and overburdened and the cognitive load goes way up. And we're there. So we've decided we need to do some hiring, but we've got some real hiring challenges. As we are already too hot, we are loaded with senior staff right now and really thin on junior staff or even interns. And what we find challenging, or most challenging, is when we do hire, we have a lot of difficulty getting the senior staff to embrace and take on the role of training and bringing up new hires so that they are adequate and quickly move ahead. So working through, the team came up with a couple of really good solutions I like a lot, and we've described them in the presentation here today. The first one, which I really hadn't thought of or really put too much time into, is to pick off good employees from the competition. And I think that's a really good idea. I wonder about what that will look like financially for us. Somehow I think it might take a little extra to get them, but on the other hand, it's an idea well worth exploring. The second idea we have had before, which is to bring in interns. But I think there were some new suggestions here that I liked a lot, which include hire slow, fire fast mentality. Although we know we're hiring, I think we could afford to hire more than we need with the idea that it'll be a competitive environment to maybe weed out a few people who aren't the best choices and keep an eye on who could move upstream quickly and become themselves good managers. And we stumbled upon something during the course that we liked a lot, which is to inform people right up front that they aren't really going to make the cut if they are a problem. So the actual quote was, "If you are an asshole, I will fire you." And I thought that this might actually be a really good benefit to let people know up front that we're hiring, but we're not keeping everyone. I think that the idea of really diversifying, not just on the cultural level, but in the approach and the way we think, is a good idea. Finding a way to embrace more diversity while maintaining our culture. And that needs to come from the top down. And so that brings us to the next part, which is training and informing senior staff to better embrace taking on juniors underneath them. And I think probably the best way to do that is to begin by training them to train others and to incentivize them and let them know what the payoff is for them to hire underneath and help move people up. And that can be done through incentive offers, bonuses, and maybe even a direct tie to their own job reviews. So in the end, I think I've learned a lot on how we might better approach scaling and hiring.